see the light inside you, brighter than the skies. Hold on, just let us escape and fly away tonight. There's so many things that I keep in my mind. Get away with it. No, cause I'm feeling so
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to AFR Aussie Formula Racing. My name is Mikhail. Joining me is my good mate Panda. How are you doing today, Panda?
Welcome, everyone. Good, Mikhail. Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, mate. I mean, it's Austria time. We know what that means. 3 DRS zones are lots of battling. It's a favourite among the drivers for sure. It's so easy to race, go wheel to wheel, and it often produces some exciting battles.
That's it. And you need a bit of luck too here. With the DRS zones and the close racing, qualifying is imperative. So going into this qualifying session, we're going to see the drivers separated by no more than, I reckon, 7/10 of a second. And it's going to be a dogfight in the race.
Well, we have a track layout on your screens now, ladies and gentlemen. 4.3 kilometers, 2.6 miles, only 10 turns around the Red Bull ring. But like we said, those 3 DRS zones, and you have overtaking opportunities everywhere. Turn 1, turn 3, turn 4, and if you're even daring, Panda, sometimes into turns 9 and into turn 6 as well.
Yeah, around the outside of turn 6 is an option. You get that rundown. And also through turn 9 is very, very daring with that raised curb on the inside.
Yeah, so it should be quite the race. If it's anything like Tier 1 just gone by, we're in for a thriller, that's for sure. Why don't you run us through how the championship is going so far in the 10th season of Aussie Formula Racing, Panda?
It'd be my pleasure. So leading the Drivers' Championship is Farmer Sam with 80 points. Dalek follows in a close second on 53. He's got some work to do, however. He had a retirement last time out in Bahrain, a very unfortunate accident. Then we have combined trailing on equal points to Dalek in P3 on 53 points. So the top two separated by 0, and then Farmer Sam's just leading away with a 30-point lead. And then we got AlphaTauri leading the constructors on 105 points, followed by Ferrari and Aston on 75 and 74 respectively. So AlphaTauri leading the way. Farmer Sam, he just looks in control at the moment in this early stages of the championship.
He absolutely does. He's been on fire for the opening few rounds of this season. Now, something we haven't mentioned yet. It's that it's a sprint round here at AFR. So what does that mean? What are different challenges are the drivers going to have to face? And I see one of them on screen already, Panda.
That's it. That's one challenge already. Looks like we have a wet quali, which is going to really shake up the grid. We're going to see which drivers have prepared for this situation. As you go into these races thinking, oh, it'll just be dry. I'll just use the pace I have from practice. But then you don't think that, oh, it could come down to rain, and that could really shake things up. So I reckon we're going to see a very different pole sitter this time around.
And not only that, it's one-shot qualifying. These drivers aren't used to having only the one chance, so 0 feeler laps on how the conditions are. They're going straight into it, and we're going to jump on board with Mr. Psycho. On the intermediate compact tires, takes around a lap of the Red Bull Ring, Panda, if you please.
All right, so down into turn 1, you need to be wary of that curb. Up through, all the way up into this little kink. They counted this as a turn, but not anymore. Now down into turn 2. He's going to hard on the brakes. And then you want to aim, you want to straight line this exit and not have too much worries. So he's running down all the way into turn 4. Hard on the brakes. You want to use that exit curb. And then on the exit, you really want to be... Oh, and he's lost it. He's hit his wing on the wall.
Oh, he's absolutely butchered that one. Yeah, combined YouTuber navigating turn 6. Okay, currently sitting in 3rd place in this one-shot qualifying. Bunning Snag out in front of things, but with only 2 more corners to go. And they're 2 very challenging corners, especially in the wet, Panda. Turns 9 and 10. Let's see how the Ferrari driver handles it.
He handles it beautifully, I reckon. All the way down.
Oh, he takes a lot of apex at turn 10 though. That's probably going to drop him down, lose him some time. It's Bunning Snag taking pole position for the sprint here at Austria. Apex Studios very close behind by, what's that, 1.5 hundredths of a second. I mean, we're used to seeing close gaps, Panda, but that's extraordinary.
Oh, that's an extraordinary run from pole. It looks like we got the Aston Martin who takes pole position here at Austria, followed by Ferrari. These two, they've been going back and forth along the qualies this season. It's just they haven't had that race luck.
We'll see if their fortunes change today. Bunning Snag on pole position for the start of the sprint race. Apex Studios lines up alongside on that front row. Then Fat Ferret, the combined YouTuber, Kato, Werb, you boy, Farmer Sam, Philly, a newcomer here for AFR Tier 2. The Z-Dog in 9th, and Mike will round out the top 10 with Bandcamp. It's starting in 11th place ahead of Kufu, Cowboy, Gus Rules, Flyboy, Conrad, Psycho, unfortunately with that little mistake with Dalek, and Mr. Spicer not setting lap times. A lot of work for those guys at the back. A lot of pace trapped in this field. Farmer Sam, our championship leader, starting well and truly in that midfield, Panda.
And then also Dalek, he's P2 in the championship. He starts second last from exceeding track limits.
Yeah, well, luckily for those two, there is a sprint race, so it's not all over them for them. It's 12 laps of absolute carnage. We'll see how the drivers navigate turns 1 and 3, but you know, it's at least it's a dry affair for this sprint. I don't know if there's any rain forecast for the main race. You know, the sadist in me, Panda, kind of hopes there is, because that would throw a real spanner in the works, but for the driver's sake, let's just have a nice dry track. Lots of grip, lots of fast fun ahead of the drivers this evening.
And lots of DRS.
Oh yes, yep, can't forget about that. Yep, 3 massive DRS zones. You lose DRS around here, you can just say goodbye to to ever making those places back. It's something ridiculous like 7/10 a lap.
And that's also the point with the championship leaders down in the mid pack and down sitting behind last. they're just going to have to pick and choose their fights to not lose time ahead. Because if you lose that DRS train, you're just nowhere. It's impossible to catch back up when the leading train is just pulling away 3/10 straight.
Yep. I mean, there's no real like you've got that little corner section in the middle of the lap between turns 5 and 8, but that's nothing. That's nothing. Looking at the tires though, it's not all smooth
Very
sailing.
interesting.
We've got Spinning Snag our pole setter on the softs.
Now that is a very, very daring strategy. They should have learnt this from the last season. Again, for viewers, this is our second season on F1 22. So coming around to the track for the second time, you have that information in your head on what the tires behave like. And realistically, nobody should be choosing that soft tire. You really run puncture territory coming into lap 11 or 12.
Oh, the sky looks very, very gloomy. So there might be a potential of some rain just jumping on board. It's very overcast. I'm not seeing any sunshine. Definitely no rainbows just yet either.
Definitely no rainbows. See, situated here in Austria, you got the Swiss Alps close by, the rain coming from there. So it could change very rapidly.
Well, 12 laps of a sprint race. No mandatory pit stops as all the drivers try and make sure that they do the best parking job that they possibly can to set themselves right for the start.
Well, Snag's looking absolutely perfect on that line. He's right on it.
Well, Mr. Spice has left the session as well. Hopefully he's able to jump back in his car.
So
But
that's the last
here we go.
car.
Do you want the honors, Panda?
No, you take him. You take him.
All right. Well, we're just waiting, I think, for Mr. Spicer, and here we go. The engines are revving. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 laps ahead of the drivers here in Austria for round number 5 of AFR Season 10. It's lights out, and away we go. And look at the start from the Ferrari, but it looks like a pretty decent start from our leaders at the moment. 3 wide going into turn 1. Looking pretty clean so far, no spins, just stopping a bit further back with the Haas in the middle of the field. And looks pretty clean so far as they go up the hill into turn number 3. The McLaren there of Worry Boy holding on, keeping the Haas at bay. That's Kato and the Haas, both AlphaTauris right behind them there. But lots of position gains already at the start. And that's a yellow flag back at the back. That's Gus Rules. Gus Rules is around at turn 3.
That's a Red Bull Spartan. There was a dogfight between the Williams and the Red Bulls at the start. Both fighting together. Now we got Philly, the newcomer, fighting Band. And he gives up Band's spot. He yields. Very smart move in his first race. Very smart.
We have a side-by-side action as Farmer Sam, our championship leader, goes around the outside of Worry Boy at turn 6. What a move from the AlphaTauri. And he's able to just hang inside that 1 second DRS zone, DRS range as well from Apex in front. He's really hoping to make amends from that pretty poor qualifying result by his standards. But as Bunny Snags leads them away, it's Bunny Snag, Fat Ferret, Combined YouTuber, Apex, and then Farmer Sam, the top 5. There's a move at the back there as Flyboy gets past Mr. Spicer as well. Mr. Spicer, though, he might have disconnected, but he's made up 4 spots, so that's quite the improvement there as Combined YouTube around the outside of Fat Ferret at turn 3. Gets squeezed out, has to yield to his teammate as well.
And Dalek, this is not the start he wanted. He's stuck behind Spicer and Flyboy's battling. He's losing that DRS to the Williams of Kufu ahead, and there's contact. There's contact between Dalek and Spicer. There was a bit of wheel banging there. Now Dalek looking to go on the inside of Flyboy, late on the brakes, pulls it up. He's gonna have to give yield. He's gonna have to give room to Flyboy.
Oh, he's gonna have the racing line, but Flyboy's still on that inside for turn 6. He has to leave the space, and he does. Nice move there from the Aston Martin. That's P13, but 1.7 seconds ahead, behind, I should say, from Kufu Cowboy. He's got a fair bit of work to do.
In only a lap and a half, Mikau, he's got to work hard to get to that DRS. Take that back. Sorry, only a lap. We have DRS this lap. It's lap 3.
Yep, DRS has been enabled. Everyone in that top 5 still in the train. Worry Boy trying to hang on, but he's just out of it by a hair. And we'll see if anyone's able to utilize the drag reduction system. Looks like Combined YouTube and that Ferrari power unit really giving it all it's worth. You can see he's already used up the majority of his ERS. is forced to the outside for turn 3. Pfeffer defending that really, really well. But here he comes over the counter attack from the Ferrari, looking up that inside. We'll jump on board with him at the moment. Bit later on the brakes, he has to make sure he yields. Look at the rear view.
There,
And
with
he's
those
able to.
fresh softs, he just has that grip.
He most absolutely does.
Now combined, he's got to be really caught out here. He's only got 16% ERS, and if you drop below that 10% mark, you're significantly reduced on the straight. So he's got to be wary of that, because Farmer Sam, the championship leader, he's going to be just sitting behind, biding his time.
We got another yellow flag, this time at turn number 7. It's Psycho, and he's actually out of the sprint. It's bad news for the Alpines. It's just Mr. Spicer there in 15th.
And this
Is
is what I
all
was
the
talking
hopes.
about with the ERS below 10. Boy, he's only got 6%. Oh, and I think we have a safety car, VSC.
The full, no, that's the full safety car. The full safety car is coming out after that crash.
That was too late a call by the race director, so he should have brought it out a bit earlier.
Mr. Spicer coming into the pit lane for a fresh set of medium tires.
That was a very late call for the safety car.
Yeah, but this does save Gus's sprint though, which is really good for himself and Bandcamp. He's sitting there pretty nicely in 9th position, having a bit of a quiet one so far. Philly had a debutant as well, sitting there in 10th for Alfa Romeo. Yeah, what does this mean for the soft runners, Panda? Because they're only good for about 8 laps, but with this safety car, they're able to preserve the life of those tires just that little bit more. But that does mean that they go through another heat cycle, and Conrad.
Oh, Conrad.
Picking up a speeding ticket.
One of the oldest drivers on the grid just picks up that speeding ticket.
Dalek
now, interesting with the
pits
softs.
as well.
These guys on the softs, Snags, Ferret, Gus is alright. Gus can go to the end. He's got fresh softs. It's Snags and Ferret. They're the outliers here. They really need to utilize the safety car to conserve their wear, which means no tire warming,
it's inters!
no burning fuel.
Down there in the pit lane, it's intermediate tires for Dalek. What is that? Like, it's not even raining yet, but that definitely indicates to me that rain is on the horizon. M-Dog in the chat, rain in 5 minutes. I don't know if the safety car is going to be out for that long, to be honest, but Aston Martin going for the gamble.
This could either be a master stroke by Dalek or a complete flop. And as we remember, all the way back in Season 4, in Tier 2 as well, Matt Dabry at Monaco doing this exact same strategy, and he ended up winning the race.
Yeah, I wonder why you remember that one. It's
I wonder.
I wonder why. I wonder why. He's not the only one though, Mr. Spicer on the fresh softs. But it's Gus Rules as well on those intermediate tires. Got nothing to lose since it's 17th. Surprised Spicer's still on those softs, but
we're leading
what a gamble.
To the end of the lap. Now, what will the leaders do?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. It's quite.
Out.
They're all just staying out at the moment.
They're deciding to stay out. Now the track does look a little hazy on the ground. Very little hazy. Although it hasn't started dropping yet. I can't see droplets on the cars.
No, the clouds haven't started falling yet. So yeah, I'm not sure. At the moment, it's very touch and go, but with more and more cars going onto these intermediate tires, they definitely think rain's on the way, and being so close to the hills, it's going to come pretty quickly, Panda.
Yeah, that's it. But as we know, with the race engineer and their forecasting, they don't get it spot on. He could say it's due in 5 minutes, yet it won't come till lap 10.
Might have another lap under this safety car. Let's wait for Mr. Spicer and for Gus. You can see how tentative Cricket Cowboy is being on these intermediates. We'll see how Gus is faring as well. It's not a single drop of rain so far.
Now, interesting, no other drivers I'm seeing doing it apart from Wereboy and Apex. They're using a technique of riding the brake to burn fuel. So they're aiming to have the lightest car possible on the start.
It's going to be quite important.
It does cause excess tyre wear.
especially on those softs. You can just hear the engine revving away from the offboard. As we jump to the Mercedes. Another lap under safety car. It's Mr. Spicer and Gus trying to catch up. Worry Boy decides to come in as well. Mike,
for
into the
Dalek's
pits.
sake and Khufu, I really hope this strategy pays off for them. They are taking a massive gamble.
Yeah, it's really quite something.
We've got a few more on pitting for tyres. Spicer, let's see what tyre he goes, because
There's another fresh set of softs.
He's going fresh softs. So he thinks the rain is going to come a bit later.
Or maybe not even come at all. Maybe the final lap or so.
And as of right now, we still don't have water droplets on the cars.
I'd be worried if I was anywhere between Dalek and Mike. I'd be really, really worried right now.
And it's also the fact that Dalek, he shouldn't be taking this risk. He's second in the championship. He really has to close it up.
Yeah, I mean, after such a stellar opening lap and a bit, there's no real call. And yes, safety car in this lap, and it's not even raining yet. No drops at all. At all.
It needs to rain now. It needs to rain now for Dalek and the others to have any chance of redeeming this strategy. But I don't believe it's going to come in time. It's going to take at least 2 laps for the track to get covered in water.
There'll be 2 very painful laps for those in the backup. But well, Spice will be laughing at this point because
who will pit? Who will pit at this point? Will they just concede the strategy, take the L, and just go?
I mean, you have to. You're going to be 10 seconds a lap slower.
And when will Snag go?
He's making sure his tyres are nice and ready to go. Comes around the final corner. We are racing once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's Bunning Snag ahead of Fat Ferret combined YouTube at Apex Studios. We only have a handful of laps to go. Conrad into the pit lane on the restart, but none of these intermediate guys are coming into the pits. We'll just jump back with Spicer.
We have rain. We have rain.
And the first few drops are coming down now. Philly's out at turn 1 yet again. If that's another safety car, this could be absolutely incredible. It has started raining, but how fast is it going to go?
Change. Fat Ferret, he's using all his energy to try and get by Snags. The Snags, he just used it a bit better in defense.
So we do have the drops from the heavens. But when is the crossover going to be? That is the real question. Looks like Mr. Spicer had an issue at turn 4, unable to make up those places on the soft compound tyre. How is the Mercedes going to fare against this Aston Martin? Especially with those softs that have seen better days, Panda.
They have, and it's just very interesting because rain is coming down now. If it comes down hard in the next lap, the intermediate runners have the better strategy because you lose that time by pitting onto new tyres.
Yeah, if we just get the gap to leader right now, Khufu Cowboy is about 6.5 seconds behind Bunning Snag at the moment. That's what, about 18, 20 seconds for a pit stop?
18 here. It's a very short pit lane.
Yeah, so that gap needs to continue to grow if these are, just in case the rain starts to really pour down.
But that's the thing, it's not pouring. It's
not,
really
no.
just only a very light drizzle.
We have a move here, Farmer Sam on Apex at turn 4.
Snag just had a massive snap coming out of turn 4, so he is feeling the pressure.
Yeah, it's not time. It's not time for these intermediates whatsoever. See, the gaps just keeps building and building and building. Like Khufu Cowboy's making the most of it. Dalek's out. Oh, and there's quite a few people coming in. And that's another safety car! Almost immediately! That was a bit of argy-bargy in the pit lane. Farmer Sam telling Apex, come on, move, 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 move!
Khufu and the others might have just pulled a master stroke.
Well, here we go.
Band staying out, Flyboy staying out, Kato staying out.
I mean, the safety car's only going to be out for this lap. Because there's always 2 laps of running at the end of each race. So this is it.
Dalek's golden ticket at 3 points over Farmer Sam. He just tossed away.
Yeah, that's it. It's gone.
Too much risk. too much risk. And even though it's only 8 points the maximum you can get, 8 points is everything.
Oh, but
When you're fighting for a
it's really
championship.
coming down now.
Z-Dog opting for fresh meds.
Now that
They
I
got a
can't
pit, they got a
explain.
pit.
I can't explain that one.
Or are these guys? Surely they're not going to run the gauntlet to the end. Surely.
I mean, they kind of have to. Safety cars
It's
in
in
this
this
lap.
lap.
That's it.
Banned wise beyond his years. He 150 race starts under his belt. He's got to just pull the common sense card. He's got to pit.
I mean, if
no
you
way
get
these
to
guys
this
go to the
point,
end.
that you might as well risk it, because if you pit now, you'll be, you know, 13th. But it's way too wet now. You can just see the spray coming off the Haas as we're on board with Bandcamp at the moment. I think Kato, he wants to go. He needs to keep heating these tires. He needs to go as soon as humanly possible, because he knows those
They're not
intermediate
pitting.
guys are coming.
All three of them. Oh, look how much grip
Oh,
he
he's
has.
gone.
Nothing.
Absolutely gone. He's got absolutely nothing. We're right on board now with the Williams. And this is like, you know, you set the AI to 60 at this point. Look at this.
Oh, the Williams. He just has so much more grip. Oh, there's a
Oh,
bit
it's
of
a
contact,
spun.
though.
Pepper's been spun at turn 1.
Bit
Massive.
of an incentive down there.
Oh, look behind Gus. It's absolute chaos for the final points in this sprint round. It's almost 4 wide going into turn number 3. There's
Oh,
cars everywhere. Oh my
massive
goodness.
collision.
What collision? There's collisions everywhere. What are you boys around? That's about all I can see.
Fat Ferret just really lost out from that. And Kufu, he finds his way into the lead. Kato is still P2.
Oh, we're on board with Mr.
Oh,
Spud.
he has
Oh, it's
nothing.
chaos. Absolute chaos.
Kato is willing those slick tires to work in the rain, but the slick just don't work, and he's just spun. He looped it.
Well, there's just too many cars here. Too many cars here in the same.
Gus Rules finds himself in P2.
Yep, Gus on for a massive sprint result here. Riding on board with Combined YouTuber, currently sitting in 6th place with only a lap to go. Mike getting penalties galore up in 4th, so this could be huge for not only the Ferrari but the AlphaTauri in front of him as well. Final lap of the race, Mr. Spice has crashed out at the last corner. Absolute disaster for Alpine. But you can just see how tentative it is.
We can consider him pretty much got this. And got to commend the medium runners. They're still going to the end. They're not pitting.
Yeah, I mean, he's fighting with Z-Dog, who's also on those medium tires. Boy's going to catch them at a rate of knots, but you know, respect. This is for grid position, so there is still stuff to fight for, even though there's no points available for those guys below 8th position.
And we've got Gus. He's leading a train of 4. From Gus down to all the way to Pete combined in P6. There could be a few position swaps. Combined, look at on the inside of the championship leader. Elects not to go down the inside. He knows that's a stupid move going into there. It's not worth it. It's the last lap. You don't want to be making those audacious moves.
Just trying to see if he's got the legs on the AlphaTauri, but it won't be enough. As Kufu Cowboy comes across the line to win the sprint here in Austria. He will start today's race on pole position, and Gus Rules will go on the front row with them, along with Bunny Snags, then Farm Sam, the Combined YouTuber, and Apex. The Ferraris locking out the 3rd row with Fat Ferret and Mike rounding out the top 8. Wow, that's
What a chaotic sprint.
what a grid
Even
we've
more
got for this
chaotic
race,
than
Bender.
T1.
What a grid we've got. This is probably one of the craziest grids I've ever seen. Like,
You just don't know who's going to come out on top. That's what
no
I
idea.
said. Rain just brings out the people that might have just practiced it or just got lucky. Kufu. I can't recall where he qualified in the one shot, but he won the sprint. He's on pole for the main race.
To get the details up now, both him and Gus up 11 spots in this sprint.
That's
Our
amazing.
front row started 12th and 13th. That's nuts. Absolutely nuts.
They just took that gamble on the Inters early on and it paid out, and all the others, they just got too eager. They threw it away.
Yep. I mean, they went you know, put all the chips on the table because it wasn't raining under the safety car. Remember that. There was no drops until
No, it
after
didn't rain.
the
To
restart.
about half a lap. Half a lap after it didn't rain.
But it rained enough. And Kufu Cowboy, deservedly driver of the day, is on pole position.
And although it's only the sprint, Williams pretty much almost jumps Red Bull. Very, very close to jumping Red Bull.
Gus keeping them alive in that fight with the 2 pit stops. But there you go, Kufu Cowboy on pole position, followed by Gus Rules, Bunning Snag, Farmer Sam, Combined YouTuber, Apex Studios, Fat Ferret Mike, Worry Boy, and the Z-Dog rounds out the top 10 starting this race. Unfortunate there for Mr. Spicer, Dalek, Philly, and Psycho not finishing this one. As well as Conrad getting caught
And
in
also,
by the stewards.
also with this very tiny sprint, combined jumps Dalek for P2 in the championship.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all it takes. It's still
Message
looking
everyone.
overcast again. I'm now like, when's the rain
I'm
coming?
worried. Could we get a wet Grand Prix?
Until wet's back. It's gone for a season and a half, but it's well and truly back now, Panda. I don't know how these drivers feel about it though.
Oh, if I was a pole sitter, I'd be very, very worried.
Why would you be worried? You're like Rainmeister.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. I haven't driven in the rain since probably season 9, round 10.
Yeah.
Whatever the last season 9 wet race was.
Oh well. Well, again, it's an overcast start. Crazy grid, and just I don't know what that restart was. There were just cars everywhere. I don't think I've ever seen 4 wide into turn 3, and almost make it through cleanly. Like that's
Yeah,
unheard
almost.
of.
It's just with situations like that, do you just decide to be that car all the way on the inside, or do you back out and try to get the switch back on everyone?
It's quite the tight angle if you want the switchback on on 4 cars or 3 cars. But it certainly looks good in the overtaking montages. All right, here we go. It's a race time, and what an even split we have down this grid. We have what's that? 7 drivers on the mediums, and that means 11 on the hards. Bunning Snag wants that P1
Yeah.
back. It looks like.
Yeah, very interesting call from him to run the mediums at the start. I really would have thought he would have run the hards. Being that he just had that pace. Like, if you got that pace in your pocket, might as well go on the same tire as, well, the preferred strategy and just beat him on equal terms because you just have that pace and then you have the optimal strategy at the end of the race on the mediums. But opting for the mediums at the start, it just doesn't ring true to me. I reckon he's going to really struggle at the end, especially if we have a safety car.
Now, if you're someone like Dalek, right, got a lot of pace in that car, that buried deep in that grid, and you know how Austria is. Like everyone's either done 1 or 2 races around the Red Bull Ring. What's your mindset going into this first lap, or the first 2 laps, say? Right, you're on the hard tires, a couple of guys ahead of you on the mediums. They're going to be faster off the start. Like, how do you attack that? How do you approach that?
Well, it all comes down to your championship position. If you're really far down and you're like, okay, I need to prove myself, you go for it. But he's P2 or P3 now in the championship. I just would let everyone on the mediums battle the hard runners ahead and just pick up whatever scraps come down to you. Just try not to ruin your pace. You have that pace, use it. And then when it comes pit stop times, just get that undercut.
Well, here we go, Panda. 36 laps ahead of the drivers. So they're all getting as much temperature as they can in their tires before lights out here in Austria. I see the Haas of Kato really
Very
angled. Yeah, for that
Kufri very
pass.
angled to defend the Red Bull.
Well, the Psycho approaches his grid slot. Everyone's in position. We're just waiting for the light sequence to begin for AFR Season 10, Round 5, Tier 2 here at Austria. Lots of tyres mixed up on this field. And is the light system working? It's, I don't know. I don't know at this point. Lots of green flags around. I think
I don't
someone
know.
must
The
have
bloke
dropped.
hasn't walked behind the car with the green flag. Oh, here we go.
Oh, lovely.
So I have a feeling we are going to have a lobby restart.
Well,
Oh,
things are happening.
things
The
are
5
happening.
lights are out. It's only
It's-
Psycho
oh,
that's dropped. But looking at
yeah.
how things are going,
Yeah, we're
they
getting
they
a
are they
restart.
are restarting it. Oh, that's annoying.
So
Oh my
our
goodness.
viewers will be
That
back
nasty.
very soon. We're gonna have a lobby restart because F1
Just
22
yeah,
is they're temperamental at best.
at best, yeah. It's pretty dreadful at worst. But yeah,
We'll
I
keep
know.
providing you with entertainment. Codemasters will keep taking our money. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's definitely something.
definitely something.
It's not nothing.
Well, we know the grid for the feature race. It's gonna be interesting how it plays out. And like I said, Dalek, he just really needs to keep a cool head if he wants to get back in this fight.
I mean, yeah, starting P16, it's never where you want to be starting, but if he lets the race come to him, it's a long one, 36 laps, lots of times around the circuit. A lot can happen. A lot can happen in 10 laps, as we saw, or 12 laps rather. I'll say 10. That was after the safety car, right? Anything can happen. Anything can happen at all. You know, even going back to Tier 1 just a few hours ago, like it was very processional for the opening stages of that race, and then suddenly there's a safety car with 8 laps to go, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yep, that's it.
Yep, I mean that's just need to stay out of trouble in those scenarios. But what a sprint from Kufu Cowboy though. Like I think that's his first pole like ever, even first front row.
I believe so.
I mean, do you remember your first pole position, Founder?
Oh, that's now that's going back a while.
Yeah, it is going
I think
way back, way back.
if I remember correctly, I got my first win before I got my first pole.
Yep.
I think my first pole. It's got to be. I think it was the Hockenheim ring in season 3.
Oh well, that. Yeah, we're going way back if we're talking about Hockenheim.
I just. Wow, that's going back a while. Yeah, I don't remember. I remember my first win. I don't remember my first pole. How about you, Mikhail? Your first pole?
I believe, if I remember correctly, it was Bahrain Season 5. Mercedes days. I think Revo had qualified on the medium tire and was starting in 7th. So that allowed me to get that front row spot. I think I believe I was just ahead of PTR on that one. I can't remember exactly who was alongside me. But yes, that was my first pole position. Again, coming after my first win. I had 3 race wins by that point actually. Yeah, so I don't know. Don't know what's happening with this lobby. It's all over the place. There was carnage everywhere. Yeah, no idea, but I don't know how nervous Kufu would be feeling with all that pace. But I mean, I guess with Gus next to him, like they're sort of like similar pace.
Well, Miko, I'm just back in the lobby. It hasn't restarted.
Well, I can't get in yet, so I don't know. It's very strange that they haven't restarted it. I saw what an Aston Martin flying, the host migrated, and like 3 front wings. Although that could have just been.
Saw a lot more than 3 front wings. I saw about 5. And
I
we've
mean-
got multiple retirements, multiple wings.
Well, hopefully we hear something soon. There hasn't
I'm
been
just in
any
the lobby now,
any
looking at.
official announcement of a restart.
I'm just here looking, and people are jumping around like crazy.
Oh, okay, the red flag has been called, so
Please rejoin one of the admins.
you just love it, absolutely love it. Speaking of, teaser for F1 23 recently revealed on the eve of the
I've
Formula
not
1
seen it.
season. What are we hoping for? What are we thinking? Are we as optimistic as we were this time last year?
I am just hoping for online stability and a more consistent handling model. Those are my 2 wishes. I really could not care less about gimmicky features or
Oh, what? Come on, mate.
anything
I
like
want a new
that. I
couch.
don't want
I
a
need
new
a new
couch.
couch for my F1 life. I mean, they kind of stopped with those in Podium Plus Series 2. Like, I need my new lighting, bro. The next...
difference is
what? Like...
if you could actually make it like NBA 2K, where you could walk around and just see people like a My Park, it would actually be really fun. And also, instead of supercars where you can just go play Forza, why don't we get the classic cars back? Get the classic F1 cars that you can win.
I mean, they're already in the game. Well, they have been in the game. The files are there, and, you know, it's more copy-paste potential.
And yeah, just instead of just getting it through tokens, make it so you just have to play career mode to get them. Or just something like that. And make it so you can walk around your hotel or wherever you are like a 2K My Park. But that being said, they can leave it exactly the same. I just want stable multiplayer and a consistent handling model. That's all I ask.
So it's a bit much to ask. I mean, how stable are we talking?
Dedicated service stable.
Oh, okay.
I'll just say that. Dedicated service.
What, you want to pay $150 just so they can afford dedicated servers?
You're lowballing them, man. I think it might be 200. Knowing Codemasters and EA we're talking about.
Yep. So the struggle is real for online.
The struggle is very real. And just so everyone who isn't aware watching the stream, F1 22 is built upon a multi-year-old game engine. And every year they just stack features and features and features on top of the previous game. Change a few things, tweak a few things, but the underlying engine code is still intertwined with F1 2016.
I think it was 15 actually. Was the first game that used it because it was the jump from PS3 to PS4.
That's right. Well, it must be then. But the point remains is that the code is still intertwined with that really old, outdated game. So when they try to fix something, it just opens up a world of other issues.
Yeah, I mean it's in dire need of a lifeline. It's just not suitable anymore. Very, very outdated. I mean, you look at other racing sims released of late, like even going back just, you know, to the latest Gran Turismo on the PS5, that it's just leaps and bounds beyond anything that this engine could ever produce.
That's right. And it's not that, even then, it's not even the fact that the graphics are bad with F1. Like, it's actually a very beautiful looking game. It's just the underlying code when it comes to the gameplay and just the physics and all of that. Like the 3D modeling team at Codemasters, hats off to them. They actually produce a very, very good looking game. It's just the simple fact of the gameplay coders, and I'm not sure if it's board pressure, because you do get a lot of that, and I never like to blame coders unless I know the full story. More or less, it is the board of directors who force the releases and the crunch time hours. But it's just the simple fact of they just haven't had the time to revise the engine or revise any of the gameplay to fix the problems. So I'd propose, if I was Codemasters, I'd propose to do something a lot like Kuno Studios with Assetto Corsa. Have one game, but yearly content updates at the price of a full game.
Well, they get their money that way. But I have an important question right here, right? Are there couches in Assetto Corsa?
There are no couches.
Yeah, it's deals off. Hate it. I need my couch, man. How else
there
am I
is-
gonna just, flex on everybody else? It's definitely not by my speed, that's for bloody sure.
But there is very stable VR. Very
But
stable
no
VR.
couch, like, I want a VR couch, man. You know how expensive couches are in real life? Like, come on.
Yeah, they're 3,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah, if we go to King Furniture, I don't think they'll accept Bitcoin, I'll be honest.
Yeah. But they can keep the F1 life, but make it like 2K My Park, where you can actually walk around and see your friends.
I mean, you can see your friends already. You know? Check out the drip.
Yeah, but
That's-
they just more or less stand there.
They just
They
stand
don't do
there.
anything.
No, it'd be more accurate, right? Is that instead of just standing there, like every single one of them are on their phones, just hunched over. That's a
That'd
realistic.
be a lot more accurate. I mean, actually, no, them standing there is quite accurate because I think I had some of my tier 2 rivals staring at my trophy cabinet last season. So
Oh, really? I don't have any trophies, sadly. It's
I
been,
remember I
it's
saw
been-
I remember I saw M Dog's driver tar just staring at my trophy cabinet. He was staring at it.
I see you've got a nice footy as well. No, let's let the viewers in on this. Let's see how we go. Rate the drip of everyone's F1 character as we're just waiting for
Yes.
things to go. All right. Yeah, I've got a nice hat there. Nice Miami hat. Gus's a trophy cabinet. They're looking a bit bare. I've got a lot of default default drips. I'm a bit disappointed, guys. Like, come on, this is why you get F122.
Oh, we got the three amigos.
Yes, yes. I mean,
They're just
we're
standing there basic.
Oh, you got a nice hoodie and Sonny's Panda. Damn, man. Nice sweats too.
That's just how
Alpha
that's just how we roll,
Industries.
man.
Yeah, yeah. I expected
You can't
better.
be caught lacking. Can't be caught lacking.
No, definitely not. At least bands changed the shirt. Oh, someone's copied your hoodie, mate. Gotta take him down.
I got told that was a unique piece.
Oh, how much do you pay for it?
4,000 Bitcoin.
Ah, what a ripoff.
I thought it was a piece unique.
Well, as you can see at the top of the screen, we've got 17 out of the 18 drivers in here. Not sure who's missing. Honestly, don't really care who's missing. Because we
Just
want racing.
waiting.
We want racing.
We want racing, indeed.
Because, you're not going to get any of that from the real Formula 1 Championship this year. I mean, Aston are looking really good. Hopefully
Look.
that pace is real and not just a
For me-
Bahrain exclusive.
For me, I am all aboard the Fernando Alonso hype train.
Oh,
I
obviously.
am 100% on board it. I believe that they're going to develop that car over the season to close the gap to the leaders. I reckon, and I'm going to say it, I am going to say it, Aston Martin P2 in the Constructors' Championship come Abu Dhabi.
Alright, someone has to clip that. That's getting recorded in the history books. You had it here first.
That is my hot take. That is Panda's hot take of the
Panda's
day.
hot take of the week, weekly segment. Yeah. Not completely out there to be honest.
No,
AFR
the
to
way
be
he
dead
drives.
last. That's my hot take. Got to be dead last. I'm very sad.
Worse than Williams? Actually, Williams don't look too bad this season.
Williams
Worse than
are
Haas?
looking. The Tarry looks absolutely terrible.
It's about level with the Haas, I reckon. About level.
Well, the
Oh,
Williams
but-
or the Tarry?
No, the Tauri with the Haas.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
But don't forget the Paul McLarens.
Yes. Yes.
I
Just hear
think they
Ricardo
just
like just
went-
laughing,
Oh,
laughing
he's
in the back.
laughing at his $20 million contract for not driving.
Yeah. That's a. I mean, if someone gave me 20 mil to not ever like league race again, I'd happily take it. Be
I'll
like,
be gone.
sure.
You
Yep.
and him, you
Easy.
and me. I'm out of here.
Go race in real life,
like
mate.
Kimi Raikkonen with Ferrari in 2010.
Yep. Just. I mean, and then in a couple of years, you sign with Lotus, and say that for every point you score, you get what was it, like an extra 10 grand per point? Was it 100?
10 grand per point. No, 10 grand per point.
10 grand per point. And then if you score 400 points, Panda, that's a lot of dosh.
Well, go figure. I actually think Lotus still owe him some of that money.
Oh, probably like bankrupted the team. You know, we think
It
about
did.
cost caps, right? Can't do that in a cost cap. Imagine if they gave Hamilton a contract like that. Like, every point you score, just 10 grand.
Well, you give Hamilton a contract like that, he might actually start saying that he developed the car again.
Maybe. Maybe.
Now we've got 18 drivers. Let's go. Why aren't we going?
And you know how the race directors are, Panda. They want to make sure everything's super safe, you know. Need the 5-minute warning, and I mean, it's dynamic weather, so even if it was dry before, might not be.
Bring back Tristan Massey.
Tristan Massey.
We want Tristan Massey.
We want Tristan Massey. So that era, I believe, is it's pretty much over at this point. But you know, we've got a few readies up. We got the 30-second warning at least.
Yep, so we are going racing in T-20.
Yep.
We'll have a formation lap again. Fingers crossed it won't break this time.
Now, do we want some rain? Do we want more rain, Panda? That's the real question.
Ooh, as per regulations, and for you viewers who are just tuning in, as per AFR regulations, a lobby restart is still set to dynamic weather, so we could very well get rain.
Yep. So not out of the question. I don't think the drivers will want rain, especially those starting towards the back of the field, because without those 3 DRS zones, overtaking is pretty difficult. Pretty tough around here, actually.
All you need is just a car between you and the person that wants to overtake you. That's it.
Yep.
Or a car in front of you.
That works equally as well.
We have
And
rain.
it's pouring. That's not just rain,
Absolutely
Panda.
bucketing.
That's like, I don't know.
That looks
Give me an
torrential.
adjective.
I reckon torrential. I reckon we're gonna
Torrential.
have the blue walled wet tires.
What? They'll use the wet tires? No. No one uses the wet tires.
Only in the F1 game.
Well,
I really hope to see them use wet tires in real life again. Let them race.
let them race. It's not even that the tires that don't have enough grip. It's that they produce too much spray. They pick up too much water in order to be like, you know, semi-safe to race with.
What a giant mud flap on the back. Problem solved.
Hey, how's that going to affect the aerodynamics?
Very bad, because it just covers the entire diffuser.
Yeah. Well, rip ground effect then. We were complaining about downforce levels. Now, if you do that, it'll be everything's just gonna be gone. F2 will be faster.
So again, second time's a charm for a formation lap. Predicted pit stop strategy is inters to inters.
Yep.
The whole race.
Told you they wouldn't use the wets. No one uses the wets anymore. It's a scam.
I really hope it's not a full winter race. Inter race. I really hope there's a bit of variation today.
Yep. I mean, I don't think the drivers want that, but who knows? I think they're just keen to go as we are extremely over time. But you know, these things happen. And that's how commentators like us lose our voices.
Exactly right. And I've got to be up at 4 a.m. tomorrow, so this isn't really the best situation, but you know what? We work with it.
Ah, you'll be alright. So, Kufu Cowboy. Strategy might have changed a little bit. No DRS. Only the slipstream. And a lot less grip. A lot less grip.
A lot less grip. A lot of these guys are going to be... They're going to be spewing.
Do you think anyone would have made adjustments to their setup? Because with the lobby restart, Park Ferme's lifted, so you could run an intermediate setup, or a setup that's suited for these kinds of conditions.
Very, very true. It's just...
Who would have that? Who would have that, to be honest?
Exactly. You gotta remember, this is tier 2. These drivers are in this tier because they show signs...
There's
and we have an Aston. They show signs of pace, they just need that refinement. They just need that race car refinement and just a bit more overall pace, and then they'll be truly ready to come up to any sort of tier 1 grid. It's just, they just develop their game sense, and I don't think a lot of these drivers will have that wet setup. Some of the veterans will, like Combined, maybe Gus, Band. But the average driver, I really think they're going to be running dry setups.
Well, here we go. We're lined up again. A lot of failed parking jobs this time as well, but the live sequence has indeed started. We have 5 lights here in Austria for the 3rd time tonight. Let's lights out and away they go. It's a very tentative start for all the drivers.
Very good start from Farmer Sam. He
Oh,
chooses to go to the inside.
Farmer Sam and that AlphaTauri forces Gus off. Gus has had a dreadful launch off the line, and there's carnage. There's carnage already at turn 1. The cameras aren't letting me see it all.
Oh, Gus got caught up. Gus is all the way down to last after that front row start.
And we already have a battle for the lead panda. Bunning Snag up the inside of turn 3 on the Williams of Kufu Cowboy. Kufu's red as well! Up pole center. Kufu is out of the race already!
He's out. He's out. He just went straight into the wall, and I think we have a safety car from that.
That's a full course caution. The safety car, Bert Mylander, out once again.
So the front row
is now at the back. They're gone. I don't think that's ever happened.
And Dalek is already up to P13, and this is what I said. He just needed to pick up where people just made mistakes. That's what he needs to get back in this fight. Pick up where people make mistakes, close the gap to the front, and outscore your rival.
He's not the only one to make progress. Look at Philly, our debutant, up 10 places. He's in 7th now.
10 places in half a lap.
He crashed in the sprint. And he's in the points.
What an amazing, amazing start from Philly.
Dalek there, coming into the pit lane. I don't know what the stewards are going to think about his entry, but he's in the pits nonetheless.
So, Dalek in the pits, I'm just gonna go on board with him.
A few timing issues as well.
He's getting a wing changed.
Yes. Yes, he must have gotten caught up. Oh, there's more damage. There's more carbon fiber out. I think that's combined. Yes, that's combined YouTuber and Fat Ferret, both missing end plates now under the safety car.
See a penalty pop up any second.
No, I think they've gotten away with it. It's from
lucky.
the stewards, but you've got a damaged front wing now, and when it's already hard enough to turn the car in the rain,
in the way, and they're going to be running around that 20 odd front wing.
Yeah,
they're going to be running that 20 front wing. So that's a fair bit of downforce. The end plate really does matter here. And I do have to give credit to this game with that case. Like, you lose an end plate at Monza, you can still continue. Won't matter.
There's no downforce
You,
anyway.
there's no downforce anyway. You lose an end plate at, let's say,
Hungary,
Hungary,
it's game over.
it's game over.
Hungary,
So,
Monaco, all those tracks where you need a lot of front turn to make it around, and in any kind of fast manner. Fat Ferret's going to bite the bullet now, drop to the back and just get that front wing replaced, but combined YouTuber opting for the opposite. He thinks he's able to maintain position, at least for now, with with a damaged car.
now, will it be experience with combined or youth?
Well, also combine's actually okay. I don't know if it was just the Mercedes. There was definitely two end plates I saw. Looks
Now,
like combine's
interesting
okay.
to mention, Psycho and Spicer, after both Alpines had a horrible sprint, both up to 10th and 11th respectively, so they've made a good start as well.
I mean, you just need to stay out of trouble at that point. I mean, I don't know if you saw what happened at turn 1, but we certainly didn't, because we were on board with, I think that was Gus, and Gus didn't move, and the camera's like, you know what, you can look at the front, you know, the main straight, while there's just absolute chaos at the exit of turn 1. So
Basically what happened to me.
yeah, well, sorry guys, game sucks. Give us custom cameras, please. A lot of issues with the timing as well. Apparently combined YouTubers are minute 43 in front of Farmer Sam.
Yeah, that's just you. I'm all good.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not the case.
Well, we got safety car in this lap, so Snags controlling the pace.
Yes, as Bernd Mylander, I'm sure this won't be the last time he's out on this track. Nuh-uh, I think you know, we're gonna see a lot more of good old Bernd Mylander.
Now, when will Snags go? I think he's going to do what everyone does and go out of the final corner.
Would be the sensible option.
No, he doesn't elect to. He doesn't elect to. He's got to go soon.
He's gone now,
That's
and he hasn't
very
caught
late.
anyone out. There's a McLaren off in the grass as well. That's where your boy dropping down.
Start. Oh, Philly, he almost made the move on combined. He's been pushed off onto the runoff area. Ban getting the position, same as Mike Hunt. He's going to be side by side with Philly. They're running down into turn 2. We're seeing a move ahead from combined going on to Farmer Sam.
Just watching this fight for 6th place at the moment. Mike going very deep into turn 3. Leaves the space for the Alfa Romeo though. And Bandcamp really benefiting from this little fight, getting a little bit of space behind, but looks like Mike's holding it there.
The
Farmer
two Ferraris
Sam.
and the Tauri.
Oh,
They're coming together. Apex sweeps by. He gets both of them.
he's not the only one. Farmer Sam as well. Combined, really struggling to get those intermediates fired up. Trying to find that rhythm.
Damage. He's got to have end plate damage from that incident. Now Ben, he's just sitting behind, waiting for his turn on combined. It still has 90% ERS. Of course, in the rain, you just gain ERS so much here.
Well, you don't use any of it. And I don't know why my game just decided to tab. That's very interesting. But it did. Here we are. Oh, Philly looking very close at that Oracle rear wing. Oh, look at the grip he's got. This might be it. Has he got the legs? So that's the important question. It doesn't look like he does.
Man's got that rocket ship on the back of that Red Bull.
Well, it's that Honda PU, but it might not even matter. Philly around the outside. Ben squeezes him onto the curb. He's not a Max Verstappen. He's not a Max Verstappen. That's allowed Mike through past the Alfa Romeo as well.
A bit of a racing driver slap in the face there. You're not getting past me.
We can see it there.
Ben, he's got that rocket ship, but he doesn't have the facilities to stop it. He's really struggling in the braking.
Yeah, no downforce on that car to just have the legs in the straights. It's Worry Boy we saw up the inside of Flyboy into turn 4, now coming under pressure from Psycho behind. Oh, a little snap from Flyboy. Oh, and they almost come together. Friends from the past. Psycho now up into 9th place and a bit further down. Fat Ferret inside of 9 in the wet. You don't see that every day.
That's a great move. That's a very good move, but
It isn't
he's
over
coming
yet.
back.
Oh, look at the Z-Dog. Trying to find a way through. Doesn't quite have the legs. Those two in front. The Mercedes power unit showing its prowess.
Band's going defensive into turn 2. Placing that car. The Mike Hunt can't get it there.
Actually, we'll jump on board with Mike and that Williams.
He's looking very racy, Miguel.
Most definitely is. But as is that Alfa Romeo behind him. Band sort of separating himself from the rest of the field. Bunning Snag showing his wet pace in full force. 1.8 seconds already on this safety car restart.
Our championship, third in the championship, Dalek. He's down in the wars fighting Kato and Z-Dog. Like I said, he's just got to be patient. He's just got to pick and choose.
I mean, turn 9 probably isn't the one I'd pick, but he's going to try it anyway around the outside of Kato at turn 9. Look at the grip he's got from the Aston Martin, and that's a sensational move.
Good move. He had the confidence that Kato would just respect the space, not punt him off.
And he has to use that battery to make sure he stays ahead of the Haas. That move is done. Now 14th. Next up is the Z-Dog. He gets a little bit of a tap of Kato behind. But no harm, no foul. As the Aston Martin continues to get closer and closer to his teammate, who is out there in P1, having the time of his life. Might see a move here for the final place on the podium as well. Panda Combined YouTuber using that Ferrari power unit. Gets really close to the back of Farmer Sam, who's really struggling in these conditions. You can see on the minimap, ladies and gentlemen, that
I don't believe
Tauri is just
struggling. I reckon he's just sitting pretty. He knows Combined has to work really hard to stay with him. Like, look at Combined's ERS. He's got 19%. Farmer Sam, he's got 65.
Well, he might be, but he's losing time to his teammate, who's 4 seconds ahead of this train at this point. Combine has a little look into turn 9, but that's quite the audacious move. We'll see how the two Mercedes are faring. They're getting pretty close together as well. Oh, there's a spin. Oh, they've come together! No! The two Mercedes come together. Oh, it's Barcelona 2016 all over again.
That's terrible for the Mercs.
I mean, that's what can happen if you make moves at turn 9, Panda. I think
we're going to see a move from Philly. Speaking of moves, Philly outside of Mike, down into turn 2. Can he hang around the outside, or does he get the traction, or they're both equal?
Even on the curb. He was on the curb and he was able to match the traction from the Williams. Even with the slipstream from Band. Oh, he's going to be later on the brakes. Mike has that tighter line. They leave each other room, and I think just straightening up the car a little bit earlier from the Alfa Romeo, that's going to do it.
Oh, he's still there. Oh, but Mike backs out. He backs out. Oh, but I almost thought he was going to swing it around the outside again. Coming into there, but no, good move from Philly.
Jumping on board now with the Williams. You see how poor the visibility is getting. Let's spray. Majority of these drivers are using the racing line assist, so that will at least show them where the road is. But even still, it's very hard to judge, especially when you're following cars as closely as all these guys are. Ben got a little bit squirrely out of turn 10. That compromises Philly's run. Philly goes defensive into turn 1, and we might see a counter-attack from the Williams. But does he have the legs? He's not using that battery, and I don't think he's going to be quite close enough to make a dive on this attempt, Panda.
That's it. I don't think he's close enough. He could dare an audacious dive. No, he backs out. He brakes early. Smart move.
Someone is not backing out, though. Look at the McLaren behind him.
Where boy, he smells blood in the water now. He wants the Williams. But I reckon there's a big battle going on behind between Dalek and Spicer, side by side. On the way, it's 3 wide. It's 3 wide between these guys, I think.
Oh, Spicer's getting squeezed in the middle. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Spicer needs to leave room for the Haas on the outside. There's a little bit of a slip. But they live to tell the tale, which is what you want to see. The thing's getting very dicey very quickly. We're not even 10 laps into this race, Panda, and it's already like this. We got another 26 to go.
Oh my god. Oh, Dalek, he almost just lost the car coming out of turn 8. Oh, he's just got to be so careful.
Lots of trains forming on this field. Looks like
Dalek is so eager to get up there, just get pace, that he just goes backwards with the wheel spin.
sometimes less is more, Panda. Sometimes less is more.
Exactly, and that is being proven by Farmer Sam. I believe he knows he's leading the championship. So the two ahead of him, he doesn't have to push like crazy to get him. He just is pulling the Alain Prost. Kit combined behind. He's the biggest threat in the championship. And just sit pretty in P3. He just needs the points.
Getting very close as well, though. All those cars behind them. Bandcamp providing a little bit of a buffer to Farmer Sam and combined. But not a whole lot. The Dragon is showing that, you know, sometimes having experience does help. But will it cover the clear pace deficit that he's facing at the moment? He's well and truly out of position. We'll see what happens. A Psycho making it past Worry Boy out of turn 8. Nice move there from the Alpine up into 8th place.
Just a resource update on Philly. He is having to work really hard to try and get banned. Banned also having to work hard to defend, but he's using less energy than Philly in his defense. So Philly is going to have to really cook something up to get past the Red Bull.
Combined getting really close. He's actually, he has a little look for it, but Worry Boy as well. This time on the outside, battling with Psycho. Psycho defends to the inside, forces him along around the switchback. Who has the better right foot? Oh, it might be the McLaren, but it's too close to call. They're side by side. Worry Boy on that inside line for turn 4. It's like a little bit late on the brakes though. Worry Boy turns in a bit early, but he's just going to squeeze out that Alpine. That's a beautiful move from the McLaren.
Beautiful move. Beautiful move from the McLaren. He knew the Alpine wasn't far enough alongside. He just closed that door on the exit. And we have Flyboy. Flyboy's out of the race.
He is, and he's right in the middle of the road. That's another safety car. And that Mercedes is absolutely totaled.
Now this has caught the leaders out. Do the cars behind pit and get that fresh set to cover the leaders, or do they stay out? And most elect to stay out.
Oh, I mean, they thought about it. They really, I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, really.
If I was Farmer Sam in this situation, I would have pit. I would have got the fresh inters. The inters you can last the whole race.
Yeah, it's quite the pace gap, and the field will be bunched up once more. Mr. Spicer and Dalek hitting your advice, Panda, as well as Kato. All pitting for a fresh set of intermediate tyres. Gus are all staying out though. A little bit of a lull, a little bit. We just calm down a little bit, right?
That's it. Let's calm down a bit. Snags, he really didn't want the safety car. He just
absolutely
was sitting so comfortably up there leading in first place. I think it was leading by 3 seconds, 4 seconds at the time the safety car got called out.
Yeah, 3 seconds between himself and Apex, and then like a further 8 seconds between Apex and Farmer Sam. So that's.
Now I believe Farmer Sam's not showing his true pace. He's just sitting exactly where he needs to be.
But now he's got a chance to really show what his true pace is. I mean, if he's fast enough to really challenge Apex and Bunning Snag for the top spots of the podium, then I don't see any reason why not. Bandcamp decides to come in. Why now? Oh, Mr. Spicer.
You should have done it early.
Mr. Spicer picking up another speeding ticket.
Band has just shown he's just pulled a masterclass. Actually.
How so? Elaborate.
Because the safety car, everyone was under a delta, which means everyone's gaps are exactly the same no matter what you do. Because now Snag gets caught up behind the safety car, by Band pitting, if anyone decides to pit ahead of him, Band gets the position.
Yeah, fair.
It's effectively you pit now or never, because if Ban decided to pit the lap before, he would have lost out on Delta.
Yep.
But now look at him, he can just hustle all the way up to the safety car, and if anyone else wants to pit because they think they have that gap behind them, they can't.
You're absolutely correct, yes. I mean, might as well, because you won't lose any places if you do pit. And that's an extra, you know, well, one less lap of wear that these tyres will need to endure. Farmer Sam's now... Why
Exactly.
now?
Right here. If Farmer Sam pits, Ban will go by.
I mean, Farmer Sam is well and truly in the pit lane.
Ban will get him.
See how the stop is for the Tauri guys. Looks very clean. Bandcamp now. Oh, that's... yeah. No question. Oh, might even be out behind Mike as well. Oh, it's gonna be close. Where's that pit line? Mike's got him. Mike's got Farmer Sam as well. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So Farmer Sam not only lost all those places that he had before, but Mike and Bandcamp have undercut him under the safety car. That's mad.
That's exactly what I said about Ban pitting on the lap he did.
Yeah, right. Well, judging from the pit stops, I don't think this rain is going to go anywhere. I think it's going to be like this at least for the next 20 laps or so. And, well, that's basically the race, so... Unfortunately for us, there is no weather shenanigans that are going to play a factor anymore. Very sad. Very, very sad. But at least the drivers will be more than comfortable in these conditions by the end of the race. So, no penalties to speak of just yet. You can see that the top 7 have stayed out. Bandcamp leading the drivers who have made one pit stop. The only penalty actually is for Mr. Spicer. Picked up a speeding ticket, so he's going to have to serve that drive-through penalty once the safety car is called into the pit lane. 16 drivers remaining from this 18-car grid. Kufu Cowboy, unfortunately, starting on pole, having an okay start, lost a couple positions at turn 1, and then had a bit of a snap out of turn 3 and straight into the right-hand side barrier, and that was it. Maybe pole's a curse, Panda, who knows? Saw Fever had a lot of issues prior, although he didn't get pole, but even still, his brake pedal just completely failing on him.
Yeah, very interesting that.
And well, safety car has been called in, so the Aston Martin 1-2 is no longer. Spurn Mylander eagerly awaits for another opportunity to lead this race. Bunning Snag leading the way once again. Does he try something different this time? He went fairly late on the last restart, maybe might go a bit earlier this time. He's still keeping the pace relatively high, trying to keep some temperature in those intermediate tyres, which is well needed. So you don't want to have a restart similar to how Kufu Cowboy's race went.
If you learn from last time, you go out the final corner.
Oh, he's waited even longer. And this time, he's caught Combined out. Combined's lost a place to Philly already. The green flag is on Z-Dog Bandcamp Psycho. 3 wide at turn 1. Oh,
Apex smells blood.
Oh no, there's another yellow flag. That's Dalek. Dalek's gone around at turn 1.
Apex diving the inside of Snags. That's a very audacious move. Bit of wheel banging there. Oh, that was a bit optimistic from the Ferrari.
Just currently looking at this midfield battle. around Mike Farmer, Sam Bandcamp, and now it's Sea-Dog and Worry Boy around the outside, tries the AlphaTauri, but Worry Boy has that inside line. Will take 5th spot away. But it's not going to come easy. The AlphaTauri fighting back into turn 6. Worry Boy on the outside line has to leave the room. Just has to slot it behind a little bit of a tap there as well, saying, hey, I'm still here. But unable to find the grip is the McLaren right now.
He's really struggling, isn't he? You just can't get the power down.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see what happens now. Snag still leading them away, but Apex is very, very close behind Philly as well. Getting that place on combined YouTube of Mr. Spice serving that drive-through penalty now. Getting it out of the way. Not really much fighting at the front of this grid. There is in the middle.
There's a big fight in the middle. Between the Red Bull of Band and the Tarrier Farmer Sam.
Around the outside goes the AlphaTauri. A beautiful heli shot that we're getting of these two as they have a drag race down towards turn number 4. We'll jump on board with the Williams behind them. See how this goes. Band very early on the brakes. Allows Farmer Sam to just swoop all the way around the outside. Oh, he almost kills the Red Bull. Wow.
I hope Band didn't get damage from that.
Maybe just a code brown, but all that kerfuffle has allowed Fat Ferret to get past Mike through turn 7.
And now Ferret, he's really on that gearbox of that Red Bull. Tucked under the Oracle rear wing.
I mean, we've seen this story many times over the years. We know how this one ends, Panda.
Mercedes versus Red Bull.
A rivalry as old as the hybrid engines. I was gonna say as old as time, but not yet. Not yet.
Wide. Ferret, he's gonna have the run.
Oh, he's using the overtake. I think he's got it. Band brakes early, but lets off. Make sure that he keeps that car there. They're still side by side through the corner on exit. How is the traction going to fare for these two? It looks like the Fat Ferret well and truly ahead. Must be something about these Mercedes cars because Mike's on the charge too. Swaps to the outside. Combined YouTuber and Philly having a little bit of a tangle as well. We might have to go up to that one, but Mike is so close on Band's rear wing.
Now that little tangle between Combined and Philly, that was just a little battle between the two. Combined had to use all his ERS to defend from Philly and get by him, and Philly is really in the perfect position to capitalize. He just is losing time to Apex.
Oh, he's not the only one who's in a fantastic position. Look at the AlphaTauri behind him. He got so close to the back of that Alfa Romeo rear wing that he had to slam on the brakes. The Psycho comes into the pits now to make his mandatory pit stop. Onto another set of intermediates to get himself to the end of the race. Things a bit tamer now at the front, but Mike is still on the hunt. That wasn't intentional, I swear, but around the outside he goes. But Band, master of defense, holds on. Fat Ferret and Farmer Sam ahead of those two as well. That Mercedes power unit just, it's too much. Too much right now.
It's a rocket ship on the straight line, that Mercedes.
Up to P7 now is the Mercedes. Chasing down Ori Boy, 1.5 seconds out in front of him. But our front two, Panda, are just clear in these conditions. There's no catching them. No one can catch them.
No catching them. And I'd say Snag is in a real league of his own right now. Apex is having to work really hard to stay with him, and they both have moments coming out of the final corner. So that goes to show the work and the pace they're trying to set on these laps. They're really trying to wring the absolute maximum time out of these cars.
You can see on the telemetry just briefly, 60% for our race leader at the moment compared to the 35 behind him.
Mike is going to look for a move on Band, I reckon, here. Going into turn 2 now, but going down. into turn 4.
Oh, he has a little bit of a slip though. Turning on that overtake a bit too early, unsettling the rear of the car. That's going to put him just a bit too far behind. And is it just me, Panda, or is the rain getting worse? If only slightly.
Rain, very slightly, it's come down a bit more. It looks like they're slipping around more than they were. Especially Bant, he's really struggling in that Red Bull, but what he lacks in pace, he makes up for experience and racecraft. He just knows where to place the car.
Yeah, Bandcamp's positioning.
Really saving him here.
Yep. I mean, that's what you get when you race as long as he has. But again, another slip. This is going to open the door for the Williams.
But Bant, he just places that car in the middle of the road.
And there's no way through. Mike has no way through, but oh, the run he got from. Okay, it's over. No way, Band fights this. Oh, it's a drag race though. They're pretty even on straight line speed, Panda. This could get interesting.
Band, he's late on the brakes. He's gonna fight it. He doesn't yield.
Oh, the squeeze. And Mike just gets on the power. And I said the Sofina rearing is gone.
Mike could have cut Band off there, but good courtesy gave him the room.
Oh, he goes deep in turn 4 though, but Band doesn't have enough grip to capitalize off of it. I mean, you need to be able to not make mistakes when your opponents are making some in front of you. That's how these opportunities arise when overtaking, like, while still doable, we've seen plenty of moves so far. It's not as trivial as it would be in the dry Panda.
That's it. I think Mike he was so fixated on that Oracle rear wing that once he got by him, he just forgot his braking point.
And we have the first of our leaders into the pits, Apex Studios, going for that undercut on Bunning Snag, and 20 lap old Inters as opposed to brand new ones. There's going to be a pace gap, Panda, and a pretty big one at that.
I think so. Snag has one of two choices. He can either respond this lap and cause the pit windows to all happen and trickle down the field, or, as we've seen very rarely before, but it is possible, he could no stop the race.
It's a long way to go.
However, if he doesn't pit within the next 3 laps, he has to commit to the no stop.
Just a few moments ago, we saw Band lose the car at turn 1, really not liking those rear tires, but managed to catch it and still holds position. He's only lost a few seconds to those in front of him. Still hanging on in the points. It's been a very, very slow start for Bandcamp this season, unfortunately, to all those Band fans.
Very slow start indeed, and also just to notice, Dalek, he's had the pace to climb up the field, but he just hasn't. He's been caught in the wars the whole race.
And that's what you get for botching the qualifying and botching the sprint. That's unfortunately what happens. That's how the race can go sometimes. But just jumping a little further up the grid, currently watching this rocket ship of a Mercedes car in 5th position, looking to get close to the AlphaTauri. I mean, we talk about the AlphaTauri rocket ship, but this Mercedes is on a whole nother level compared to that.
This Mercedes is hitting 305, no DRS, no errors. He is an absolute missile on the straight as he goes.
Look
down
at this!
Z-Dog.
Oh,
that's a very risky Z-Dog. I reckon that was moving on the braking from the Tauri there.
they live to tell the tale. That's the main thing.
That wasn't good. That
6. I mean, you can tell there's no downforce on that car. He's moving the wheel all over the place.
This Mercedes is a rocket ship.
It's more than a rocket ship, mate. It's a missile. It's a homing missile at this point. It's not a torpedo. Hasn't hit many people yet. That's definitely faster than a rocket.
Z-Dog had to use ERS. He only manages 292 at the end of the straight while using ERS.
Meanwhile, the other one Terry on the defense, the other on the attack. Panda, Farmer Sam on
Here
Worry
comes
Boy.
the Mercedes. Here comes the Mercedes. He's absolutely flying.
Let's see. Looks like Farmer Sam backs out of that one. We have to see the straight line speed. In second gear, look at the traction he's got. Absolutely nuts.
Look at the top end. You just need to look at the top end.
He could have sent it there.
You just have to hold his ERS button for another second.
Meanwhile, Dalek up the inside of Kato at turn 4. Gets himself back into the points. Whatever consolation that will be.
Now, Mike, he's got 60% ERS. He's doing alright hanging behind Farmer Sam. So that little mid-pack, they're just holding station. Not really anyone can do. It's a bit of a chess game in the middle now.
Just briefly on our leaders. Oh, leader, I should say. Bunny Snag. He's committed to that zero-stop handler. He hasn't pitted, and Apex as well and truly made up that undercut gap.
Yeah, you can't stop now. You'd only last 10 laps. New tires, 10 laps. That's just not worth it, in my opinion. He has fully committed to the zero stop.
Oh my
He's
goodness,
got
look at
100%
that.
ERS.
He's not even using overtake! He's not even using overtake, and he just blasts by the tower like it's nothing! Around the
This
outside,
Mercedes.
has to leave the room.
He's got party
Oh,
mode.
this is a joke.
Wait, look at it. Look at it just sailing through.
It's a joke.
He's gone.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Dalek having a little bit of a moment, seems. Back outside the points.
Yeah, not good for his championship campaign. He's one spot off getting points.
I mean, the consolation at this point is that Farmer Sam's an 8th. Right?
Yes.
Like, it's not like he's leading the race. But yeah, you need to be just consistently ahead of your rivals, especially when they have subpar performances like Farmer Sam's having thus far.
And I just want to say, Miko, I think this Mercedes is going to gun for the podium position on this lap. Philly is defending, he's using ERS to try and defend from the Mercedes. But if the Mercedes gets it lined up and shot out of here, we might see an overtake. And here we go. Oh, look at that closing
Oh my
speed.
goodness, we're on the rear view of the Alfa Romeo and it's just a joke. It's like he has DRS.
Mika, I just went on board with the two cars. It is a 20km/h difference. Bit of argy-bargy into turn 2 though.
Yeah, that does unsettle the Mercedes. He loses the slip. But still is able to make up that deficit. I mean,
Philly got deep. He's feeling the pressure. And just to reiterate, the speed differential is 20 kph.
that's nuts. Absolutely insane.
Without DRS.
Yes. I mean, imagine if he did have DRS.
Oh, it'd be 30.
This race would be over. At least in the speed trap. It's
Although
like
if we had
Philly...
DRS, he would...
Is he defending or is he
Philly's
pitting?
boxing.
He's
boxing.
pitting! Is he at risk
It's
of a
fifth
puncture?
lane.
That'd be the only reason why I think he'd be pitting, is if he's going to get a puncture soon.
Oh, Philly. I guess if he's going to get a puncture, yes, but if he wasn't at risk of a puncture, that's a bit of inexperience there. Just, why would you
He's
pit?
12th. Actually, he might be behind these two Alpines as well.
He's out of the points.
Yep. I mean, he does slide out in 12th. He does get ahead of both Alpines, but... Yeah, it's...
We're boy just overtaking Mike Hunt for 5th. He's not bored with that leaders. Snag. Completely in control.
Oh yeah, 4 seconds out. He's just vibing. I don't have the fancy telemetry, so I can't check his tyre wear, but... Probably isn't looking great.
But there, he's up in the podium positions and he's now hunting combined.
Yeah, that's... I don't know, but we'll see how this rocket ship goes. This missile.
Mercedes on an absolute charge. He's only 5 seconds off the lead. It's not over till it's over.
It's not
but-
impossible, yeah. If he keeps this up.
Oh, he's just reeling that Ferrari in though. Absolutely reeling him in.
The thing that impresses me more is that he's still getting the traction out of these in these corner exits. Because you think with no downforce, right? There's nothing to grip, push the rear axle down into the ground. But he's still getting good exits.
But just a very interesting point, Mika. He's fighting drivers that haven't stopped.
That is a good point.
Ferret has 15 lap-old inters. Combined has 27.
Well, the rest have been on those tires since the start. So they're going to be
reckon it could
crawling
be
at the
all
end.
playful. If he gets by combined, we only have 7 laps to go after Snag crosses the line. Oh, big moment for Ferret. But we only have 7 laps to go. If Ferret can average a 7/10 a lap quicker margin than Snag, it could be on.
Well, catching's one thing, but passing is another. But he's got the car for it. If anyone's got the car for it, it's Ferret.
I think passing is pretty good for him. He's absolutely got it on the straight line.
Another Mercedes power unit. That's two more Mercedes power units that are really working. Are the ones in 5th and 6th. Mike's still staying very close to the back of that McLaren. Just can't quite find a way past just yet, as Dalek and Bankhef are fighting in the background. But here goes Mike to the inside. Oh, he's about even on the brakes. He has to leave the room. Does he squeeze him out? No, but the McLaren has the grip. Can he send it up the inside? He does. They're still going wheel to wheel.
Very good read from Mike, though. Very good read. Oh,
They're still going.
The McLaren just shouldn't have fought into that corner. He just didn't have the right track position, but good effort from Mike. Very good effort.
It's up now into the top 5. All right. Ferret's in slipstream range. We know what that means. Combine's gone.
He's vulnerable. He's only got 12% ERS.
Oh, if Ferret uses everything, it's done for.
You elect not to, however.
So, odd choice. Maybe he's thinking through into turn 4.
Now, without battery usage, Ferret's advantage over combined is only 8 kilometers an hour. Only.
I mean, that's still a fair bit, but it's nothing like the 20 we saw before.
Oh, but look at him. He's thinking about it.
Combine isn't phased just yet.
He's very vulnerable now, though. He's very vulnerable.
Yeah, you can definitely say that again. 3.5 tenths is the gap. Closest on this field at the moment.
And just to note, by them battling, they've caught snags. They're catching snags.
They are, yeah. Combines are getting a move on. And Sag, he might be cruising right now, but they'll be seeing that gap just continue to dwindle away. And it won't be
Ferret
as...
needs to get him this lap. He needs to. If he gets him, he's got a chance.
Yeah, but it needs to be done. Otherwise, P2 is the best the Mercedes can hope for. He's not using his battery. What's he waiting for? The tires to explode?
If I was Ferret in this situation, I would have just used the ERS the whole straight.
Yeah, I don't know what he's waiting for. Don't know what he's waiting for.
Mark the tyre life on the cars ahead.
I mean, with 30 laps, they won't be great. A request from Bateman, we need more panda analysis from this Mercedes.
That's what I've been doing.
I mean, this is the fight to watch right now. I mean, Apex using those pressure tires, he's got himself up into 9th place, but he's not, the progress he's going to make is going to be insignificant to what could have been.
He just needs to make the move very quickly.
Well, that's a lot of curb.
When you sit behind the driver for too long, the driver ahead can just, he knows your moves, he knows where you're strong and weak, and then he can defend accordingly. You've got to make the move in 3 laps. But Ferret,
oh, come on, Ferret, you have to now.
Back what I said, he might have a run.
Oh, combined defense to the inside. Conrad Gandala getting 3-second penalties. We get the heli shot as well. Combined squeezing. Oh, he puts on the cab! Is that going to phase him though?
The Ferret elects to not counterattack.
I don't know.
I don't understand. Ferret should have just absolutely juiced ERS down that straight in the counterattack and gotten by combined, but he just elected not to. So he's stuck behind the Ferrari on old tyres for the rest of the middle sector.
I mean, they've caught Snag. Snag is actually going really slow. He's got a puncture! He's got a left rear puncture! Snag has got a left rear puncture. Combined is going to take the lead of this race. And now Ferret's right on him!
Snags has a puncture. This is amazing.
The zero stop has not worked. And what does that mean for like half the, like third of the grid still on old enters?
What does that mean for combined? Our new race leader. What does that mean? He's got to see that. He's got to be shaking. He's just seen the race leader who's been dominating the whole race get a puncture on the exact same strategy.
Snag's out of the points now. He's not scoring. That's it. Wow.
Oh, that's so just... I really got a feel for Snags there. He dominated the whole race. He drove perfectly.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you've seen that, like, I don't know what Ferret's waiting for. What's he waiting for? His tires aren't gonna pop.
Well, is he just forcing Combined to use more wear? But even then, he doesn't need to.
But why? If Combined gets a rear puncture in this middle sector, Ferret's just gonna run straight into him. And then they're both in the mud.
Ferret, I said earlier, Ferret has a chance of winning this race. I didn't think it would come to pass like this.
No. But he needs to get past this Ferrari. What's he waiting for?
I think he's setting up his attack now. He's using the ERS on the main straight, on the pit straight. He's definitely setting it up. He didn't use the ERS the last few laps. Here we go.
Come on, please.
Oh, he's used it straight from the corner. He knows he wants it. He smells blood from the Ferrari.
Oh, here we go to the outside. Combined fights it still on that inside. Leaves the room though, and Ferret clean around the outside. The Mercedes is in the lead. And he's not the only one who's in a good spot. Look at Mike! Past the Z-Dog, who's also on those starting intermediate tyres.
Oh, Combined, he just can't match Ferret. He is...
No, those tyres are done.
He's fading. He's fading quick.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
But interesting to note, Z-Dog, he's on the exact same strategy as Combined, and he's keeping the pace in the tyres.
Yeah, it's only one lap fresher, but that might just be all you need. Alright, Mike making it. Trying to get on that second step. Ferret's just laughing. 2 laps to go now. Can this Williams get second?
Keep it on the road.
Oh, you can see how many stabs that Mike has in turn 1. Oh, he's not wasting any time. Look at this.
He's not wasting. See, here's what Ferret should have done at the beginning, but Mike, he down the inside, late on the brakes.
Combined doesn't fight it.
You can't put the power down.
His tyres haven't popped yet. But it's
No.
Does he lose the podium? Z-Dog in a very similar spot, but it is 1 lap difference. Did pit under that first safety car from Khufu Cowboy. What's gonna happen? Are they both gonna pop? Oh, we do have another one.
Someone's around.
Dalek's out. Is that just a spin or is that another puncture? Is that another left rear? Doesn't look like it. Just looks like a spin. It's just a spin.
Seems like just a spin, yeah.
It's the final lap of this race, though. There's still a couple of battles on this field. Worry boy on 35 lap old Inters trying to get Farmer Sam.
Oh, they're both equal on us. 6%.
Yes, there's nothing left in that.
Bam still defending against the Kato and Kiwi.
We'll see what happens here. Combine quickly losing pace. But they haven't popped. That's the main thing. They haven't popped just yet.
But he just doesn't. He doesn't have that drive in the corners. Look at Z-Dog is right on him.
Philly makes the move past Kato for P8, and that's not enough. It's not enough for Z-Dog, but what a race for the Mercedes. Fat Ferret, he sees the checkered flag, and he wins the Austrian Grand Prix, and Mike will take the second slot, and combined will round out the podium, completing the zero-stop race. 36 laps, ladies and gentlemen, on those intermediate tyres.
Oh,
The Alvataris 4 and 5, Worry Boys 6, Bandcamp 7, Kato and 8, Philly 9, and Snag, who is dominating the whole race, only has 1 point to show for it.
Really unfortunate for Snag. He drove an amazing race. Credit to Ferret, amazing win, amazing podium for Mike as well. But Snag, he had that in the bag from the beginning, and I just believe this might be a lesson in tire conservation. He had that lead. He could have just slowed up even more to conserve his tires, but I think that's just the luck of the draw.
Yeah, I mean, there were, what, 3, 4 other drivers that managed to make it to the end? So it's either really bad RNG, or just needs to be easier on the tires. Like, he had the position, he had the gap initially, like, as well. Like, he was still making progress as well. The gap was growing.
He was ages in the lead. The gap was growing, but in hindsight, it's 2020, but it didn't need to. He could have just chilled, conserved his tires. But just doesn't. The dice didn't roll in his favor.
No, that's it.
That's racing.
Yep, and it is Fat Ferret on the top step. Well deserved. I mean that Mercedes power unit, very sussy. That's
They must have done a power unit swap before the race because
yeah,
that car was a rocket ship. He was flying the whole race.
Still well deserved. Takes the 25. Actually, do we know who got fastest lap?
Yeah, Snag at the very end.
Ah, yes, that would make sense. So Snag gets 2 points to show for his domination. But the race is 36 laps, not 32. Unfortunately for him.
And unfortunately for Combined, he's only scored just a few more points over his championship rival.
So here's the final classifications. Fat Ferret in first, on the 3 stop as well. So fortune favors the bold. Mike Hunt in second place, and Combined YouTuber rounding out your top 3 with Z-Dog, Farmer Sam 4th and 5th, Worry Boy 6th, Bandcamp in 7th, Kato in 8th, Philly in 9th, and Bunning Snag in 10th place with the fastest lap of 113.4 with Psycho, Dalek, Mr. Spicer, Conrad, Gus Rolls, Apex Studios, and yeah, unfortunate for both Flyboy and Kufu Cowboy not finishing this one. Well, that's all the time we have for this evening. I mean, good things come to those who wait. Had quite the delay, but I'd say it was worth the panda. What do you think?
Oh, it was definitely worth it. And just another thing to add, that race, Dalek actually got demoted to 4th in the championship. Fat Ferret from winning is actually 3rd now.
Wow, so very close. Still early days. We'll be back next week, hopefully on the main AFR channel. We'll be going around the Yetta Corndike Street Circuit. A very, very tough one. There's going to be, if you thought that was Carnage here, Jetta's a whole different ball game.
It is a very different story. The walls jut out, just precision driving the whole race. It's going to be a race of attrition, that one.
Yep, but that starts next week on Sunday at 7 p.m. Sydney Melbourne time. It's when Tier 1 starts, and then Tier 2 will be at 8:30. Preceding that. That's all the time we have for this evening. My name is Mikhail. Joining me has been Panda, and have a lovely week, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week, everyone.